I hold. Yeah, I like this. Blessings, peace, loved ones. Here to offer you a video of rest and integration. My experience is that we are all so driven, so over masculinated in our lives. We don't take the proper time to rest, to integrate our experiences, to feel and be with our emotions. And so as we evolve and we learn to take the time to rest, we start to get to the core of the very things that are driving us in the first place. We're reactionary beings. We react to the environment around us. We are adapting constantly to the environment around us. And in a stressful environment where we feel that our survival is threatened, hence a sympathetic nervous system flight or fight response, we tend to react without really getting to the core of what's driving us to react. It's a survival instinct. And of course, in nature, if we were to stop and ponder the nature, no pun intended, of our sympathetic response, we would probably die. But we are in an environment now where we don't need to constantly react without reason. So, now that we are evolving to a point where our safety and protection, at least in a Western society, more often than not, although not always the case, is guaranteed, we can take the time to start to uncover the motives behind our need to be constantly stimulated and driven, constantly doing something. I find in my journey that the need to constantly do something is the result of a feeling of being not enough, the result of a feeling of unworthiness. And when I stop, I take the time to rest and integrate my experiences, I really start to see that the unresolved emotions that I have are the driving force behind my need to do. Can we take more time to be rather than more time to do as a way of undoing those repressed experiences in our cellular body, as a way of unraveling them to allow for greater expansion and peace in our lives? And to clarify that and make that really simple, can we take time to honor how we feel as opposed to doing to avoid feeling? I know a lot of us tend to have a lot of expectations, have a lot of limitations in our lives. An expectation is, in one form or another, a limitation on our free will, on our desire or ability to express. Let's say you have a deadline for work. You're expected to meet that deadline, and it is now put a limitation on the time in which you can complete that. So when we're interacting with ourselves on a very sensitive, intuitive, and energetic spiritual journey, can we take the time to say, okay, everything that I do has a limitation and expectation. However, can the things that occur within me not need demands put upon them in order to be... Let me say that again. If we are living in a world where there's constant expectation put upon us, can we interact with ourselves without expectation and limitation from a place of heart-centered love? That means that when we take the time to rest, to slow down, to do Tai Chi as opposed to working out, to be properly hydrated, to meditate, to do breath work as opposed to work, in that place can we become more soft and compassionate with ourselves more than ever before, rather than needing to constantly create a spiritual goal or an emotional goal in our lives as another form of doing, as another form of avoiding the way that we feel. Can we meet ourselves as we are without expectation through the practice of self-love and breath? For when we give breath to our experience, we give it the space to be, the space to express, the space to resolve. Because in resolving emotions and bringing them to the light of our awareness, we are no longer driven to do in avoidance, but we are driven to to act in love. We are inspired to act in love from a place of spaciousness. So, in that spirit of rest, may we all take time to be more peaceful, calm, to breathe more deeply, more slowly, and to nourish our bodies with the organic, sustainable nutrition that our bodies need as a way of practicing spacious being, as a way of practicing spacious living. Inspired to live rather than driven to die. Namaste.